How did I end up in Madeira, Portugal, on this island of forever spring or ever spring for a month? I will live here for a month, and I'm here for only 8 days now, and it feels like I'm already living here for weeks. And I was trying to think, why is it so? Why is it happening that the time just bends or like flows differently? And I'm sure that it's because every time when I look around, I see a different view. I see a different possibility to explore, to have different experiences. But let's not talk about this. Let's talk about how did I, being in my 50s, end up in Madeira, and how I will live here for a month, basically for free, only for cost of a flight. And not just how it was technically possible, but also, and I live in these beautiful domes, earth-based, natural materials domes. But also, how did I allow myself to do something that a previous version of me, younger Tina, would think that it's impossible in this life, would think that it's crazy or something that I could only dream of. So I allowed myself basically to, or I would even say that I promised to myself, I made a vow to myself, that I will experience freedom no matter what. And just to give you a little bit of a background, and this is basically for all of you who think that living somewhere else or being someone else takes a long time, to encourage you. And I want you to know that we all can be so many things. For example, for this month, I am Madeiran, if they say it like this. I live on an island in the middle of Atlantic Ocean, on the very top west end. When you're looking on the map of the African continent, and then inside on the left to the west, in the Atlantic Ocean. And I lived for 20 years in the corporate world. I was 43 when I quit my job. It's only 9 years ago, and it feels like at least 20 or even more. It feels like the whole lifetime ago. And I didn't see any other solution to live outside of the box of the corporate world, of the concept from 8 to 4, so 8 hours working day, 5 days a week, with only 4 weeks of vacation per year, where now I have 4 weeks in one go, and it's just the beginning of the year, and it just felt impossible. But my quest started when I read a book where there was an example of a lady who was super successful, who had an amazing life from outside, who had perfect job, perfect family, house, kids. She was working out. She was eating healthy, but she was always chasing success in all her fields of her life. And she was also constantly rushing. You can even feel it from my exhale, how deep I felt it. And she was under high level of stress. And one day she was going out from her house, all beautifully dressed up, with her purse, suitcase for work, these thin ones, and high heels, walking down the stairs to the street from her house, and she just collapsed. She fell down, and fast forward, she found herself diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and she needed to stop working. She needed to stop chasing, running. And I remember when I read this part of the book, I froze. I felt like a thunder strike went through my whole body. I felt all sorts of emotions, but basically I was shocked by the understanding that I actually realized that if I don't stop, I will be that lady. Soon after that, I came back. It was summer holidays. I came back to the company where I worked at. It was finances, capital markets, sort of business. I won't go into details around that, but a very, very desirable job. And as soon as I came back from the holidays, I resigned. And I was trying to do that for 4 years. But I was afraid, and I didn't know what am I going to do? How am I going to pay mortgage? How am I going to raise my kids? At that moment, my kids were, I think, around 6 and 9, no, 10 and 13. And all these questions, like survival questions, that we have when we live in this world. And I was afraid. I didn't see any way of how to do it. And at that moment, I was running my raw food blog and business. It was like a side job, more hobby, for 4 years parallel. And I still didn't dare to embrace that kind of work fully. And this is what I also say to people often when they ask me how to approach, how to make further moves and steps, is that it is okay if it takes more time. We are all different. Some people have this hit like instantly. They just jump into the next step. But for me, and also because of the kids, the responsibility that I felt was huge. And I just want to acknowledge all the women and men and people who have same thoughts and same fears. But this is why I'm recording this video, because I really would like to express that it's possible. And maybe you will recognize yourself in this story about this lady, or the story about me, because also at that time I paid my debt to the corporate world stress by staying without my one ovary and ovarian tubes, if that's the word in English. I think it is. And I said enough. My life, my health, my children are the most important things, and I will always find ways to have food and live somewhere. It was almost like not almost, it was awakening from the path that I never questioned before. So as I was growing up, I knew that I will go to college, that after that I will find respectful and super paid job, and I will try to be as successful as possible, and yeah, just climb this ladder of success in society, which I won't comment now. But then taking a mortgage, having kids, or first marriage, then kids, and everything was working super fluently, and from the outside it was perfect, but inside I was a mess. I was under such a big stress. I was constantly crying. I was constantly trying to find ways to just release that stress and to have life, basically. And nothing was working. Although I was trying to do all the tools, I knew that the change must be bigger, that the change is actually me living a completely new lifestyle. And as I had this hobby of mine with raw food blogging, I couldn't understand that could be the way how I can live my life, until that certain point where, or when I read this example of the lady with MS, and me seeing myself that it is a future me, in a very near future me. And then I said, okay, let's go. I would also like to say that I did, for the whole 4 years, I was constantly working on myself in a way that I was trying to see which beliefs are holding me there. I was trying to let go of all the patterns or the stories that I inherited from my parents. I was doing a lot of forgiveness work, karmic cleansings. I did start meditating. I started a lot of energy work. And I really believe that all these moments and all these practices brought me to the moment when I read this example in the book, and I was basically already ready, because I quit my job without fear. And I remember people were asking me, oh, what happened? Did you win lottery? Or you have rich parents, they left you money? Or, all these ideas. But I said, no, I have my mortgage monthly payment every month. I have 2 kids that are small and dependent on me, and I didn't win the lottery, and yeah, my parents didn't leave me fat, thick bank account. Uh, but I'm doing it anyways because I want to live my life and because I want to be free. So it is possible, and you maybe won't need 4 years. Maybe it will take you 3 months, maybe a year, but also maybe 7 years, 5 years. Doesn't matter. But it's important for you to know that it doesn't happen overnight, and it is okay. From the moment when we decide that we no longer want to commit the stereotype of the corporate world, of the setup that was given to us ever since we were born, and the setup that we never questioned when we awaken into the understanding that life can be so much more. This is when the journey starts. And love your journey, enjoy your journey, because every moment and every single little breakthrough that you will have are so precious. And who knows, maybe you will be inspiring people to do the same. And maybe this is why it all is happening to you also. But also maybe not, doesn't matter. So coming back to my story about me being in Madeira and how did that happen? It's been, as I said, 9 years now, and I will be sharing my other adventures in other videos, and also specific tips and tricks how what I experienced in these 9 years, also in previous years before I quit my managing positions in the world of the finances. But today I would like to say that this month I decided to be a volunteer on these magical islands in the mountains. Right now, behind me, you can see this beautiful house and the hill that goes uphill. And what I am looking behind the camera is an ocean and horizon and the sun without the clouds. I hear the buzzing of the bees and bumblebees and all other insects. I hear the birds. I hear the little river running down the hill. And I was invited to come here for a workshop. We will do 7 days building kertere. It's the natural way of building small houses, which I will record and upload for you to see. And my daughter told me, Mom, I can't wait for you to show me how you did it, because I want to have a fairy house too. She's 23 almost, but she was super excited about this idea. And my son also encouraged me to go because he was here a few years ago with his dad, and ever since he came back, he just keeps repeating, "This is your land. This is your land. You need to come here." And the funny story is that I tried twice to come here during this winter in the past couple of months, but both times there was no space. And then I got an invitation to come here. So since I am also a manifesting generator in human design, it is very good for me to respond. So I responded with a yes. It was a full body yes. And I'm here working in the morning, waking up with the most beautiful view from this house and through this little window, which is big when you come closer. I'm working on the land, whatever needs to be done, in contact with nature, in nature. And then we have lunch all together at 1, and we hang out a little bit, and then I'm free. And this is when I do a little bit of my work, because I set it up in a way that I can work only a few hours per week, not every day. It's possible. And I will share more about details how it's possible. And I have a friend here who lives here, who is taking me to the most beautiful, magical spots on this island where I cried already for several times, and I'm here only day 8, basically. And I will be here for another 22 days. I can't believe it. 3 weeks. And I feel how my nervous system is relaxing and how I am fully embracing this experience of living far away from civilization. I mean, we are in a civilization because Funchal, which is a big town further east with apparently 270,000 inhabitants. I didn't check that, but I believe it's true. And we are half an hour away from it in the mountains. But it feels so different other than being, let's say, for half an hour away from big city in inland. Because I clearly feel that there is no pollution in the air. When I smell this air here, it's completely different. Something that I didn't experience anywhere else. And also, the night sky is so clean that the other day, not the other day, 7-8 days ago, it was, I think, half of the moon full. Everything was illuminated just from the half of the cycle of the moon. So there are ways on how to live experiences that seem like a dream, and I really would like to invite you to see what would be your dream. And I would really like to hear from you in the comments, where would that be, or what would that be, and let's find solutions together. And I know that we are all in different stages of life and circumstances. Doesn't matter. We have solutions and ways always. So let me know, and I will read every comment and write down if you want. Ask me, let me know, say I want reflection, and I will reflect and give you ideas on how to do it. Because I really believe that we came here to live this life fully, to be happy, joyful. And this is also something that I am bringing to my kids. And it's also, for me, heartwarming and heart melting when my kids, when I share that I want to go to Madeira, they just say, "Go, mom. We want you to be happy." So let's find what makes us happy and let's live our dreams. Have a beautiful day. Much love.